Hi there guys, today we'll do the question of spiral matrix. So you'll be basically given a m cross n matrix and you have to return all the elements in the spiral order. Like if 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 is given, you have to return a list like 1, 2, 3, then 6, then 9, then 8, then 7, then 4 and then finally 5. So like this way we have to go on. So this is the way. And now for the second example also you can see that we are moving in the spiral way. So 1, 2, 3, 4, then 8, 12, 11, 10, 9, 5, 6 and 7. So let us go into deep analysis about how it is happening. So I have taken a pretty big example as to draw the spiral form. So the first things first, if we consider my rows by iterating I loop, and I can go through all the columns by iterating j loop. So in this direction the j will increase and in this direction the I will increase. So our spiral will be like this, and it will go on and on and on and on and on. Okay, so that is our spiral. So one thing to notice for sure is that first we are increasing this j. So first we are increasing this j, then we are and keeping the I constant of course, and then we are uh, increasing the I, and of course we are keeping the j constant. So one we are increasing or decreasing, another we are keeping constant. So next we can see is that we are decreasing our j and we are keeping I constant. In the next iteration we are decreasing our I and we are keeping j constant. So like this way it will alternate and go on and on and on. Okay, so now I need you to focus more on this. Okay, so let us not rub this one. So I'm rubbing off this line and redrawing it again so that you understand the pattern more clearly. So j increased to the full to its full capacity at first. Then we saw I getting increased to its full capacity here. Then we saw I getting decreased to its full capacity. Then something interesting happens. After these three terms or three uh, increasing, decreasing and increasing, so next we have is again decreasing, but we are not decreasing it to its full potential. We'll just stop before 1 because 1 we have already visited or 1 we have already printed, so we'll not print again 1. So here we are stopping. So we can see that we are not going to our full potential. We are stopping just one element before that. Again we are increasing our j and we are stopping one element before because we cannot take 12 because we have already taken that. And again we are increasing I and we are seeing that we are stopping before one element. And again we are uh, decreasing our j and we are seeing that we are stopping before one element. And now we are decreasing our I and we are stopping before two elements, and we are increasing our j and stopping before two elements, and we are increasing our I and stopping before two elements, and we are finally decreasing our j and stopping for two elements. So you guys might have got the pattern. So uh, for the first turn, if you overlook, from the second turn, whatever this alternating is done, like increasing, decreasing, increasing, decreasing, so we are leaving one element. So for the first time, four things are done leaving one element. So first, my I has gone decreased and leaving one element. So then also my j increased, leaving one element. Then my I increased, leaving one element, and my j uh, decreased, leaving one element. So after four turns, you will reduce the capacity of where your element is going by one. Okay, so if you were to go to until length minus 1, for every 4 turn you will reduce this by 1 and by 1, and up to 0 it was to reach. So it will not reach 0 now. So after every 4 turn you will just um, increase after every 4 turn. So it will not reach to its lowest value, and it will not reach to its highest value. So like this way we can reduce the path of the elements. So let us try to do this in the code. So first we'll make our list. So list integer, new and list. Now we'll traverse through the okay, so we are doing this. I will tell you later why we are introducing this loop with true condition. So we can take element like a variable like leave element. So that many elements I will leave. So initially it is 0 because at first we are not leaving out any element. Then we can have is we can keep the count of how many turns are there. Okay, count of how many turns are there. So initially I will write this is count turn. So initially first every 4 turn it was increasing, but for the first one it is for third turn it we had to reduce our capacity by 1. So I'm assuming that something was here, and we didn't we took this additional turn. So that's why after 3 values at first it increased. So I can have this count turn equal to 1. So let's go into the code. So I can have first we are increasing our I and decreasing our first I will increase my j and keep I constant. So let me define I and j outside. So I is my 0 and j is also 0, and first I will increase this j till we have j dot matrix I dot length. That will give the length of this row. And so in some cases, so it may not go to the full capacity. So that's why we have to subtract this leave element also. Okay, and then we need to increment our j, and now we should print it. So not print it, we have to return, put this number in the list and return it. So array dot add, and we are adding this matrix ij. Okay, now what we have to do is we have to increase our I and keep j constant. So same thing, I am just increasing my I, and I am, so I have missed an e here, so I am subtracting the leave element so that at some point I may restrict the travel of I. Okay, now I'm incrementing this I, and I will add ij to my list, and then I should do is I should decrease my j, so greater than equal to 0, j minus minus, but we don't need to go until 0. It can be that we are not going till 0 or more elements before we are stopping, so that's why you need to add plus leave element here. So 0 plus something is that element only, so we don't need to write that, and we can just update it. Xij, and finally we need to decrease our I in the same fashion. So leave element, and we have I minus minus, and we are adding this stuff. So matrix inj. Okay, so now we are done doing our maximum work. Now we just need to increment our count turn and those sort of things. Okay, now after every for loop I have to write count turn plus plus, because one of the turn has finished, and I have to check whether this count turn is divisible by 4 or not, because for every 4 turn we are increasing our leave element, which means we are leaving more elements. So leave element plus plus, the same thing we have to follow for all these statements. Okay, here also the same line. Okay, now this we have to break this while loop because it is given as true. So the while loop will break only if none of the for loops run. So when we are reaching this end, that at that position we cannot run any of this loop. So in that case only I'll break. So I'll just make here a boolean variable. So boolean be equal to false, and inside these for loops I'll just write b equal to true, and so here also I will write that b equal to true, and here also I'll write that be equal to true, and here also I will write that be equal to true. Okay. Now if any of the for loops don't run, so that means what? That means this b will not be updated to true, it will remain false. So if any of this for loop doesn't run, that means we are done with our work, or we have done finishing. So we can do is we can just break out. So if b is false, then I can give direct break statement. Here also if after this loop I have to just copy this statement, and here also I have to give break statement, and here also I have to give break statement, and here also I have to give break statement. Okay, so now it is fine. So after that we can return our array list or the list. So let us run this. So cannot find symbol 37. Okay, so I've done a silly mistake. Okay, array out of bounds. Okay, so we haven't considered one thing, that when this loop is breaking, so j is incrementing one more time before breaking this loop, so we have to counter that. So we have to bring j in the original position, and here also I need to bring my I to original position, because it is breaking after going out. So first time it will go to the equal to the array length, then only the loop will break. So that's why we need to do one time j minus minus. So means if you're doing plus plus, we need to after the loop we need to do one time minus minus to counter it. Then again here also we'll do one time j plus plus, and here also after this loop I'll do one I plus plus. Now again let us see. Okay, so wrong answer. So again what we need to do is that, so 1 2 3 is there, so again we are going 3 6 9, so this 3 is just repeating. So we can do one thing, when we are doing this j minus minus, we can do one I plus plus also, and when we are doing this I minus minus, we can do this j minus minus also. And when we are doing this j plus plus, that means, so we should do I minus minus here, because we need to move up, and here we are doing this I minus minus, then we should do this j plus plus. Okay, so now it should be all right, I guess. Okay, so it is correct. Let us submit. So wrong answer for this one. Okay, so we did not initialize the break again to, sorry, the boolean variable again to false, because for each time we have to initialize and then check if it is at all being updated or not, and then if it is not updated we are breaking. So after this statement we have to all the time update this variable. So that was the code which was missing, and that was silly. So we can update this one. So now hopefully it should run, and if we submit, and we have got our solution accepted. So guys, please like, share and subscribe the video. I post daily coding questions, so you can subscribe my channel. I hope it will be helpful for you.